What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ball With MTG. This is your host, Malcolm the GOAT. I'm here with another edition of More Than the Grind with one of my brothers. I got one of my brothers in the studio. But before we get started, guys, if you're interested in starting your own podcast, Buzzsprout is an amazing resource that you can use to get your podcast streamed to all the major podcast streaming services, the Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadios, and Spotify's of the world. Remember Buzzsprout? I have a link in the description below. Sign up and you could possibly win a $20 Amazon gift card. So Buzzsprout, amazing resource to use. But yeah, More Than the Grind edition starts now. All right, everybody, I'm back. Oh, shoot. I'm good, guys. I'm good. But today, I got a very special guest. Somebody I can call my brother, a good friend of mine, somebody I've known for a very long time. Big Will, what's going on, man?
Yo, what's good? It's glad to be here on the Ball With MTG. You know, he has a really outstanding podcast to talk about sports and Black Lives Matter and some political interest and stuff like that. So I'm just glad to be here, Malcolm. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, of course, bro, man. You know, we were supposed to do this like back in June, but you was capped. You've been capped this whole time, man.
Well, it's better to get it done now than to get it done later, and it might be never done.
Okay. I don't know what you just said. Nah, I'm playing. But nah, bro, just let the people know something about you, bro.
Well, I am pro-black. You know, I've been pro-black for like 6 months because, you know, ever since this man named Dr. Umar Johnson, he really woke me up and, you know, my consciousness of being black and everything. Because, you know, he taught me a lot of black people who have sacrificed their lives to, you know, to fight against white supremacy and everything else. You know, Dr. Amos Wilson, John Henry Clark, Fannie Lou Hamer, Harriet Tubman, Patrice Lumumba, Shaka Dio, and there's some good Pan-African artists, J.A. Rogers, and William A. Sinclair, and everything else. They just taught me, like, you know, we were the first people, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even know. I thought Egyptians were Arabs and all that, but they weren't. You know what I'm saying? So I got into this pro-black thing for 6 months, and I'm just really proud to be unapologetically African. So
yeah. Okay, and for the people that don't know, can you explain what pro-black is?
Pro-black is like black pride. Okay, and a lot of white people think that pro-black is a form of racism, black supremacy, reverse racism, because you understand under white supremacy they do not like black pride and black determination. So when you are pro-black, you understand you are for every African in the world. As Marcus Garvey said, Africans for the Africans and everything else. So it's for Africans in America, Africans in Canada, Mexico, Central America, all the way to South America, all the way to the Caribbean, all the way from the motherland and East Asia, West Asia, and some sub-Saharan Africans in the Saudi Arabia and everything. So that's what pro-black is. It's your consciousness and your pride about being black and everything else. So.
Okay, and with everything that's been going on within the past year, basically throughout our whole lives, throughout our parents' lives, down to you know how the story. Everybody knows how the story goes, especially if you're black. What we've gone through over these past 400 plus years. What have you done to try and make change, and what has stood out to you the most and wanted you to make change, if that makes any sense?
Well, what I just need to, you know, get. You saying to make change? You mean like, you know, help the community, like?
Yeah, I mean just making because you know society today is fucked up. So
well, what we need to do is it all starts from the group. You know, understand? Because people think that individual success, you know, Martin Luther King made a pro-black movement, Malcolm X did, but it's actually the community and we just need to be a community and everything. But we're so tribalistic, multiculturalistic, and very colorblind, and we're just so full of self-hate because we've been under white supremacy for almost 400 plus years, plus 2,000. So you understand, I'm basing off BC time because we got contact with the white man ever since Constantine Alexander the Great conquered North Africa in 220 BC. So speaking of change, I would say, you know, if I had that position, man, I'll just start small. You know what I'm saying? I just look for conscious brothers who want to know about themselves and everything. I understand that, you know, information is everything, but it's just like plugging it into a USB port. You understand? But the computer will act the same. So, you know, and I think we need to be socialized into like what it's like to be, you know, black and everything. What are we proud of to be black and everything, like, if it makes sense. So
Yeah.
But, you know, we just need to understand, like, yo, we are the first people, you know what I'm saying? You got to stop with this European philosophy that they were the first people because they were made, you know, 80,000 to 200,000 years ago. We were made 2 million years ago and everything else. And that's just what's interesting. And then we invented every religion we invented religion before the Europeans copied it and everything else. So, which I'll explain later and everything.
No, man, go ahead.
But yeah. So if I want to create something, I would, you know, start out small. You know what I'm saying? And promote and everything, and just like, you know, because I'm tired of seeing my brothers and sisters getting shot by the police. Which these fucking police wave that back to blue flag, which is a bunch of bullshit because it has no meaning. It's just an intimidation tactic to stop black pride, because, you know, with Black Lives Matter, it's all about black pride, and we matter because we understand we existed before the Europeans arrived. You understand? Mm-hmm. And they learn from us on spirituality. They learn from us from civilization. They learn from us from, you know, medicines and herbal treatments. They learn from us, okay? And I think the reciprocity for them is just to conquer and just rule everything. And it's just like, you know, I believe that Black Lives Matter. I do, because, you know, I just don't understand, like, you know, why would people say all lives matter? And you understand every major group that these white folks name is that they came as an immigrant. We came as an import. Okay, so yeah. So
what you call it? No, you really went in depth just there, and I really appreciate that. Especially give our audience, you know, just because a lot of people may not know this about you, but you're very knowledgeable, literally on everything.
Well, I couldn't say, but I'm still learning, you know.
Literally on every single topic except for sports.
I mean, I don't have cable.
Nah, okay. I don't got cable either. Which one call it? Nobody got no cable in 2021. Man, which one call it? Yeah, what's your excuse, man?
I don't know.
I'm just playing, but nah. A couple weeks ago, terrorist rioted into the Capitol building. Yes, I called them terrorists because that's what it was. It was a terrorist attack.
It is.
Break down the difference between what happened there and between a Black Lives Matter protest.
Well, the difference between it is, like, you know, that's just out of white privilege, and these white folks say that there's no privilege, because in order to create privilege, you must oppress Africans, like what they're doing in Africa now. The Oppenheimers, the Bilderbergers, and the Rockefellers actually took every resource of every mineral in Africa that makes their technologies, that make their computers, that make their cars and everything. But it's just like it's like the example that these Neanderthals breaking into the White House. That's an example of white privilege, because in the report they said it only took 12 hours. You understand? If Black Lives Matter, when it's all black people, okay, it would be about Boston Massacre. Every black person would have been killed. They would have been removed in 30 minutes. That's crazy, because it's just like, I understand that, you know, Donald Trump lost, but he didn't do shit for blacks. So was Barack Obama. He didn't do shit for blacks.
Whoa.
Yes. So, I mean, if you agree with me or not, that's fine, but it's just like, that's reality, okay? But Donald Trump, I'm like, yo, I'm just glad this Neanderthal's out of office, but Joe Biden's gonna, you know, pretend that racism doesn't exist, and Kamala Harris is a symbol of tokenism for the black people to say, okay, as long as I have somebody who looks like me, but she ain't doing shit for you. And plus that is that, you know, she has a white husband, which really have a problem with. But back to the
You have a
discussion.
problem with her having a white husband?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well, listen. Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why would you be with a people that doesn't understand your struggle? Not only not understand it, benefit from your oppression.
I mean, no, I understand where you're coming from, but at the end of the day, I mean, love who you love.
No, because here's the thing. Chinese have pragmatic application in relationships. So who wants to marry, who gets to marry who? They do that in their communities. Arabs do it in their communities. Indians do that in their community. Even African people in the mother continent does that in their communities.
So you think that blacks should only marry blacks?
Yes, because you understand they have the same commonality of oppression and white supremacy and racism. Because understand, like, white people, that's just like, why would and to top it off, them like, yo, no disrespect, they can't cook. Some of them can't cook, and they don't put seasoning on it. You feel me? And no disrespect. But,
I'm dead, bruh.
Okay.
I am dead, bruh. We are not disrespecting people.
I understand.
I value all opinions. I do. But let's not go in here and talk trash about another race. Because we're better than that. We have to be the standard.
I know.
We have to be the standard.
But my opinion is like with the brothers who date outside their race, it's just like that's not only a disrespect towards our ancestors who fought for us to be treated as people. It's just like it's also disrespectful to the black woman. Okay, because you cannot sit up.
But not all black women want black men.
Okay, here's the situation, because they were indoctrinated by TV, radio, and have you ever seen the commercials lately? And they interracial marriage. Yeah. In commercials and YouTube commercials.
But okay, yeah, I have seen a lot more interracials and a lot more black commercials as of lately. But yeah, interracials,
LGBT. But the whole thing is like they are trying to propagate interracial marriage so they can control population, because you understand, like, interracial marriage to me is just like, it's just betrayal. And even in the Bible, it's a sin in the Bible to go outside your race and date and all that. It's Deuteronomy 7:2 that says do not intermarry and stuff like that. But I forgot the rest. But it's just like I'm just not a fan of that, because you just spitting on black people if you do that. Yeah, so
I mean, which one? I see where you're coming from, but man, it's no hate, just love, bro.
Well, we have to stop with the multiculturalism, because we trying to try to do some allegory on our self-hate and stuff like that. I understand we are very a kind people. Hospitality is within our African DNA, but we gotta practice pragmatic application. Okay, what it means is like, how is this?
You gotta break it down for the audience and myself.
Let me just say, a bottle. Let me give you this, bottle of water, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and I would say, how is this water benefiting our people? Okay, if I like this water, I'll take the water. If this is not going to work out, I'm not going to take it. So that's the definition of pragmatic application. But when you be pragmatic, you're making a decision or a judgment of what's in the best interest for the community. And I was just like, that's why I'm saying, like, that's why I'm not a fan of interracial marriage. I don't care if y'all sit up here and call me a racist and all that, because I know black people cannot be racist if you disagree or not. But yeah.
I wanted you to hop onto this episode because you have such a strong opinion and you stand by it, and I respect that. Seriously.
And the question is, like, for all people who think love is all about color, can I ask you something? That why does black men date outside their race more than any other race on the planet? And the question is, it's like, we have a problem. We have sexism in the black community, which is causing women to say men ain't shit, and you understand men saying bitches ain't shit. I get money over hoes and all that. But it's just like, that's just an excuse for your self-hatred. That's an excuse for something like that. And it's just like, I would just tell like black people, if you're not committed to black people, I'm like, and you want to be pro-black, that's a contradiction. You can't serve two masters. You get what I'm saying? So
we serving no masters.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the Bible, you can't serve two masters. You either love one or hate the other. You will go for one or go against the other. And it's just like with black people dating white women, they just don't want to admit they have an inferiority complex. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah. So
I feel you. And I respect your opinion. Even though we sometimes I do disagree with you on some of those things that you had said. But I respect it.
What's the disagreement?
I mean, just like interracial marriages and in embracing other cultures and things of that nature.
We're not that way because we created all these other cultures. You understand, under the sun, because you understand these Asians, these Southeast Asians, Indonesians.
But wouldn't it be nice if we were able to explore other cultures?
It would be nice, but you understand that these Indians, these Indonesians, these Mexicans, and these Chinese people, they don't like us, and that's the reality. That's the reality.
Yeah.
But the whole difference is we got to stop with the multiculturalism. That's killing us. Because
I only see it as a positive.
I mean, I understand it, but you have to understand we are getting killed, and multiculturalism is just a killer. Look what they did. Okay,
what
look
did
what
they do?
They did. Black Lives Matter. Look at it. It's now LGBTQ matters because.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
because they do matter.
Listen, homosexuality is a behavior.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's a behavior. It's not genetically. It's impossible to have effeminate traits. And I'm not a psychologist, and I'm like, effeminate traits is a behavior. You understand? They could be boys who act effeminate and be heterosexual. You get what I'm saying? And they can be some masculine men who act homosexual, but it's just a behavior. I mean, what happened is they try to normalize homosexuality just like in the Civil Rights Bill of 64.
Hold on, let me ask you this. So you don't support the LGBTQ community?
I'm going to make this absolutely clear. I don't hate any gay, lesbian, transsexual brothers and sisters. I don't hate them. I can separate from the person behavior from the person. I'm just saying I just don't agree with the lifestyle. I just don't.
What's wrong with the lifestyle?
The lifestyle is anti-African.
I say.
Okay.
Love is love.
No,
love
that's
who you want to love. I'm not gay or anything of that nature, but I completely support it.
Do you understand homosexuals were molested as children? Do you understand? Most of them are, but most of them were molested as children. Most of them have misandristic single-parent households. We live in a single-parent household.
I was raised in a single-parent household.
Listen, but hold on now, because
you were raised in a single-parent household.
But you understand, most single mothers are misandristic. They put their relationship with their fathers onto their male sons. You understand? So that's disrespectful towards their masculinity, and this is when they start to become homosexual. Okay, that's a form of insecurity. Every homosexual they need love. Yeah. I can agree with you, but I'm not going to support that lifestyle because it stops life. And it's just like, you understand that most black women got HIV and AIDS through bisexual transmission. That's number 2. Number 3 is, what is LGBT doing with the homosexuals who are committing suicidality? You get what I'm saying? And number 4.
Okay, no, I do agree with you on that.
Because that's the whole thing. The movement is all about population control. This is why in 1974 that Henry A. Fryer, or Henry Anonymous, infiltrated the vote to try to normalize homosexuality based on the 64 Civil Rights Bill. They put gender and sexual orientation so they can eclipse the black civil rights. They can eclipse black civil rights and everything.
Okay.
So this is why I'm against LGBT. I'm not against the people. You understand? They need love in the first place because they are victims. Because you understand, I don't believe in these churches. You understand, these churches castigate people who are just needing love and everything. And they just like, homosexuality is a sin. Okay, can I ask you this question? Okay, how are you going to say homosexuality is a sin and you got the Pope raping little boys and little girls? You teaching pedophilia in churches.
Okay,
yeah.
We're I didn't want to go this far into the topic.
That's true.
But no, you do bring up some good points. But no, we're gonna have to get you in the studio on camera. I don't know why you didn't want to do camera today.
I'm just scared.
You scared of the camera?
I just don't like,
You're scared of the camera?
No. Nah,
But
I mean,
no,
I just don't like to be on camera that much. But
no,
you know.
before I support the LGBT community, I support Black Lives Matter. I am pro everything. He, on the other hand, I don't know what he's on.
But
I'm playing with y'all.
The question is, why are you supporting sexual confusion? That's my question.
It's not sexual confusion.
Because you understand, sex is a behavior. It's not part of who you are. Sexuality is talk. We didn't have just sexual sex ed just because. You understand?
Come on, man.
That's the whole difference. It's like, why do you think?
Come on, man.
Why do you think that we don't have a right to our opinion? Because you understand
LGBT. You know what? We're gonna continue this conversation on the camera,
okay?
So people can engage with you and hear what you have to say. Now this is gonna be a little podcast version, so that people can listen to it. But no, we gonna have to go. We gonna have to go a little bit more in depth with this in the studio. So I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, guys. If you're interested in what Big Will has to say, you can always follow him on some social medias. I have his links in the description below. Everything will be popping off. I'll return with the sports edition of Ball with MTG the next time I drop. Just want to go out, not go off topic, because these are topics that we need to talk about in society. But yeah, it's More Than a Grind edition with Big Will, MTG. We out.
Yep.
Peace.
Bye.